Ryan, the 4 players that you added to the squad, have they got chances tomorrow?
Yeah, all got a good chance. We trained there today, so we'll, given that they're all coming back early, like they always do, we'll see how they've pulled up after training today and confirm it tomorrow.
Do you feel you've got a strong enough squad to get over Leigh?
Yeah, for sure. But we're aware Leigh are they're a quality team and very challenging team. So you're asking me, do I think we can win? Of course. But but at the same time, we're playing against a team that equally wants to win, and we're not in the best of form. So we'll have to come up with a performance tomorrow night.
I mean, how much of a possible banana skin could it be in that respect?
Do you know Leeds United went to Manchester United in 2010 when Leeds United was in the 3rd tier and beat Manchester United in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
Beat them 1-0. And while Manchester United did rest some players, they had the team that they're out. We got this right in the middle eights when we played. We was in the middle eights and we had to play 4 championship teams. And the team I was coaching at the time absolutely got it right, the attitude right. If we play to our potential, of course we can win. But we have to have a healthy respect for the opposition. So if I'm sounding a bit hesitant of your answers, it's because I don't want to sit here and go, yeah, we've got this covered. No, we haven't. We haven't. Leigh are a good team and they're playing really well, and they're finding some form. Can be very aggressively, and play that very aggressive style. And against those, they've got a history of especially coming to Headingley and trying to put it on our team, trying to put it on our pack in particular, which can be effective. And my team's got to get ready for that. I also think that the referee tomorrow night needs to be aware of that as well. That we can't just put it into the realms of, well, that's just an opposition being aggressive. No, some of what those type of teams do is illegal, and they cross the line. Yet because it's a Challenge Cup and because it's not on TV, I'm hoping the referee tomorrow night doesn't let things go for the health of the game, or we end up with a scene like we did last week, which didn't do anybody any good, didn't do the coaches any good, didn't do the teams any good, didn't do the sport any good, and we don't want to see that. And I'm not putting that at the fault of the referees last week at all. But I have been involved in these games enough in the past where the referee, a bit of Fred Lindop style, can stamp his authority early and say that ain't going to go on today. If you're going to beat Leeds, or if Leeds is going to beat Leeds, you do it through skill and toughness and aggression. You don't do it through old school, which nobody wants to see.
How much does the venue switch change the complexion of the tie?
It's not a drama to us, but at the same time, our whole club is coming towards Featherstone. It's a bizarre situation, isn't it? It rarely happens. Our whole club, fans, and everybody is coming to Featherstone to play their home fixture. So we're very good at this. The club is great at this. Whether we go to Catlands or we played at Headingley a couple of times already this year. It's a massive operation. Game day is a huge operation for the home club, and we do that really well. And I've just been out to look at the surface there. Early, I'll give Ryan Golden, the groundsman, and his staff a huge amount of credit, because I came and saw the ground about 4 or 5 weeks ago and it didn't look in the best state at all. And when I've heard we were switching fixtures to here, rightly so, a lot of focus has been put on the state of the ground, and Ryan's and his team have been here 2-3 times a week, putting a load of resource and effort into that. It looks great, and it looks worthy of a Challenge Cup fixture, so credit to Ryan for that.
Are there any peculiarities of that pitch that you don't really get at Headingley?
The Leaning Tower of Pizza. I was just walking out there with Jimmy Laws earlier, and Jimmy Laws said it doesn't seem to be as bad when you walk out here on the tracksuit, but certainly when you're running uphill in winter as a young forward trying to work out the game of rugby league, it looked like a steep hill. Both teams will have to deal with that. But we've played here enough and we've trained here enough, we're alright with that.
Jordan Lilly, could he give you a bit of an added insight into Leigh having?
Yeah, there's a few. Jordan, I've been talking to Josh Walters this week as well, who's recently just played for Featherstone against Leigh with our dual reg arrangement. So you know, we know a bit about Leigh as well. We've crossed swords with them enough in the last couple of years to know that I've already told you that they're a quality team. And I'm not fluffing them up. I'm not being patronising them. They're a good team, and therefore it makes my job easier. You know, to say to my group of players this morning, we better be good. Tomorrow you're against a good team. They're not looking at me puzzled and saying, well, they're not really other coach because they're in the Championship. My team is aware of the quality that the Championship teams possess.
And so close to Wembley, all teams at this stage, does that bring its own sort of pressures and excitements?
No, it doesn't. It brings excitement. It's a huge carrot dangling, isn't it? For sure. It's great.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Brian, how much will it be about making this place home from home tomorrow in terms of the support from the fans? You mentioned the whole club coming down here to Featherstone.
I'm sure they'll have a part to play. Our fans have been spectacular. You know, just almost jaw dropping really last week in Scotland. We took so many fans. Again, when we played at home, our home fixtures at Ellen Road twice this year, our fans have been great. You know, they've been put on really with the dynamic of the ground being rebuilt, and they all get it, they all understand it. Yet they don't really want to travel to another ground. They'd rather play at Headingley, they'd rather we play at Headingley, but yet they've come out in force and showed some support, showed some loyalty, showed some understanding as well of what the club's going through when they do that. The support last week in Scotland was fantastic. I think a lot of our fans are getting it, what we're going through at the moment. They understand the situation we're in, and I think they all trust that the players are going to repay that faith, and I'm sure tomorrow night they'll be good, they'll support.
Could Leigh as a club and their Super League experience, recent Super League experience, have a bearing, do you think, on tomorrow? Of course, they don't need any incentive to be up for the game.
No, for sure. I think that's a good call. Yeah, a lot of their players have played Super League just recently as well, so then they understand and know what it takes to beat Super League teams.
There is, of course, the other side to the coin. They'll see you as a Super League side out of form, injury hit, good for the taking as well. So there's that element in it for them.
Yeah, I hope so.
Stevie Ward, just want to talk about him for a minute or two. He's obviously been given the captaincy, as you said last week. Big responsibility for him, and now leading the side he's played for many years into a Challenge Cup fixture. So for him, it's a wonderful occasion. Yeah,
for sure. I just think, you know, to Kevin Sinfield, and I've said this publicly before, once said the fibres of the Rhinos shirt just seem to weigh a bit heavier sometimes, the responsibility that the players wear. And it's true, and I see that so much that you know, players have to endure a little bit more than most other clubs when either we lose or win. We're on show more, we're in the public eye more. Therefore, the responsibility seems to be more, and certainly for the captain, it's a huge role. You've got to get that right. Stevie Ward will be good, he'll be great as a captain. He doesn't need to say anything. If he just played his normal game, he'd make an excellent captain. But he's a smart fella, pretty articulate, and cares enormously about the state of the team. As all the players are doing at the moment, we're all aware of what tomorrow night brings, and we're all aware of where we are as a team. And a lot of them were involved in the mid-eights. So you know, there's certainly the huge amount of responsibility being shown by all the players, and Stevie Ward's leading that from the front.
He's a player that himself is used to adversity on the injury front and other things in his life, personal issues. Did that play any part at all in your decision to make him captain with the difficult period that you're going through at the moment?
I think had he not gone through some of his off-field issues, I'd still be choosing him as captain because he's the right type of guy. But you know, that only adds. You can pull out with some of that stuff, and he's come through the other side of some of that stuff, and has got a huge amount of humility about it as well. He doesn't throw it and he doesn't ram it down your face, and doesn't automatically assume he's better than anybody else because he's pulled out of it, which you hear too often about people getting off drugs or people losing weight and saying, look at me, I great. And Stevie's not. He's got so much humility about him that people, you know, players, a bit like Callum, players gravitate towards him. You know, when he speaks, people listen. He doesn't have to ask to the room to be quiet, or he doesn't have to ask for respect. He almost commands it.
We've talked about the occasion here and the venue and the Challenge Cup and the opposition. In the grand scheme of things of your season, is this amongst the biggest fixtures so far for you?
Yeah, I know why you'd say that, but I think you got to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. We want to win tomorrow night, and if we don't win tomorrow night, it's going to be big. And if we win tomorrow night, it gets us to the next round. There's a few things happening at the moment for our team. You know, if you were talking to my starting team, I'd respond to it a little bit different. But you know, you're talking to a team that's decimated through injuries and lacking some very, very important people. So I'm maintaining calm at the moment, but at the same time, well aware of what we need to do tomorrow night.
And last one, very much related to that then, a win for you with a decimated squad would, I imagine, do yourself and the players that are available a huge lift in terms of confidence going on to the rest of the season.
Yeah, for sure, it would, and sometimes you've heard me talk about performance, but then other times you just talk about a win. I've got to win tomorrow night. There's a finality about tomorrow night. We just got to win, and if we don't win, we're out the cup, and we don't want to be out the cup.
Not afraid to win ugly.
With this face.
No comment on that from me. Thanks, Brian. Good luck.
Thanks. Cheers.